not, we could just chat.
Okay. I'm recording. I
Okay.
have to because the conversations people have, right? Like ETs and stuff, no one knows about, and I
Right.
want to get it out there.
Right.
Not
Right. Right.
not on a new agey type of way. Just normal person. It's like
Right.
us people down here, we have experiences too. I'm sorry, I know some shit you don't. So,
Plus, it's
not
like
you, but people. You know
people.
what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, it's like
Go
the
ahead.
raw conversation, it's very like things like whenever I'm talking to someone, I'm like, damn, I wish I was recording this, right?
Yep.
So then,
Yep.
it's easier to just
I
get it while it's
that's
live.
Yeah. That's why I like when I swear. I have no I have no things hold me back. No stereotypes. No bullshit. Just talk from the heart, man, and let it go.
Right.
You don't gotta put on a mask. You don't gotta go all CNN on everybody.
Right.
So, you know what I mean,
Yes, for real.
man.
I know what you mean.
So
But so, yeah, how was your experience today?
okay, this is what happened to me today. I went to sleep around noon, and I had this. Christ is giving me this dream series while my soul is in a coma, and so I fall asleep. I don't really talk because I can't do anything. I'm just a potato floating around in the illusion. And he gives me this dream where I had before like 100 times, and it's like a video game, and you have to drive this car, and along the way you have to pick things up, and there's a time limit on it, so you got to beat the time limit, and it's just like playing a video game. And so I get all the things I have to pick up. Like, no, I have to. There's like, let's say 8 out of 10 things you got to pick up, but on the way, as you're picking them up, you don't know that there's number 8 coming up, right? The thing you have to do. So I pull into this garage, look like a garage or a restaurant or something, and in there, I'm sitting there waiting, and there's these people saying, "Oh yeah, the truck pulls up here. You got to talk to that guy." So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for the truck, and I'm waiting for the truck, and I'm waiting for the truck. The truck pulls in behind the house, not where you are in the parking lot. It pulls in from behind, and it's selling root beer. Okay, and I'm so I finally figure out that the truck is on the other side of the house, and my time that I'm supposed to meet this guy is so close. So I run around the back. Truck pulls in and stops. As I get there, it's pulling in, and when I get to the driver of the truck, he goes to me. He says, "Okay, awesome." He goes, "So where's the empties?" And I'm like, "What empties? I'm here to talk to you." Right? He goes, "Well, you have to bring your empties. You should have been picking them up for days. You don't got any?" I go, "No." And he goes, "Well, okay." He goes, "I'm gonna give you one root beer. You go," or something like this. I can't remember this part too good. He goes, "I'm gonna give you yeah, time." He goes, "I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. You run around the town, like literally 5 minutes. You run around the town, pick up all the empty root beer cans, and bring them back here, and then you get your prize, and you can go." And I'm like, "What? Are you kidding me?" So I end up running around the town, going as fast as I can to get all the root beer cans, and I get back, and the time limit is usually over. But eventually, you get the time limit, and there's a little trick in there where you can go find like a hundred root beer cans. I know it's just stupid, but this is what Christ teaches you. And then you go back, you go to the truck, you go, "Here you go," and it goes, "Yay!" And then he says, "Either you lose or you got to do it again, or I'll see you next time." And then usually the dream will start over, and you got to do it all again. That was my goddamn dream.
Dude, I
I
wonder,
know.
okay,
That's the
so are
dream.
you in a car the whole time?
Yeah, pretty much. You drive like a driving video game, and you have like an iPad or something, and it tells you where you have to go. So you have to go to this place. And you drive your ass there, and you get there, and it's like a geo search sort of thing, but not. Anyway, you're supposed to get something or do something at each place you stop. But when you're near the end, the last one or near the last, you get to this garage, and it's a screw in the mind. It's a screw of how you think.
So what is his point? Like, what do you think the goal is to show you this?
Oh, why?
Mhm.
It's to teach you. It's to teach you lessons. Based just
Lessons about what? Just like I
natural
see,
law, right and wrong, doing
it's weird
things.
because I feel like I have experiences like that, and it's like the same thing over and over again, and you're wondering like, why am I having this dream? But at the same time, you feel like there is a goal to it. But it's like I never understood. Like if I have a dream like that, I never understand. Like, well, you're not like having a dream; you're having an actual experience. So for me, it's like I can barely tell the difference between a real life situation versus just a dream.
Yeah, yeah. Because it
So
is a real life situation. But to
yeah,
your mind, it's a dream. You're actually
yeah,
doing it, you know.
yeah.
In soul, you're doing it.
Yeah, because your soul doesn't just stay in your body, it gets bored. Like,
Oh
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
astral projects and like it goes to different dimensions and stuff. While your body's the only thing that needs to rest. Your soul don't need to rest. So it's
That's
just
right.
like,
You got it. You got it.
yeah,
Your
yeah.
my soul is out screwing around, getting in trouble, punching bad guys,
See, but the
getting in
thing is,
fights. I'm like, oh Jesus, here we go
you
again.
get to be conscious, so it's very exciting for you. It's like you get to live two lives consciously.
Yeah.
And that's fun to me, but sometimes you be going through some crazy stuff.
Oh my
Like
God, girl. You have no idea. It's sick. It's sick. Like to the point I can't even walk down the fucking street. Like and you can label it as a mental craziness, but it's not.
it's only, look, for those who know, they know, who don't, if you don't experience it, you don't understand. Like
Yeah.
people who are, I feel like, new to the earth or new to this experience maybe, or didn't put it in their contract to understand, they're not
Mhm.
conscious during these experiences, so they don't really understand what's going on. Like some people just label it a mental illness or like
Yeah, yeah.
just a dream. But
Yep.
if you don't know, you don't know. And I see, when I didn't know some of the things that I know now, I went along and I was like, oh, you're just a tree hugger, or you're just
Yep.
willy-nilly voodoo stuff, right? But then once
Yep.
you experience and you're like, oh, okay, so this is real. So we're getting real now. And it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. It's like, I don't know, but so like what made me realize like it wasn't just a dream and it was a real live experience is one time I did DMT, right?
Hmm.
Oh boy, let me tell you, I realized there's so much more to the world and dimensions and consciousness than I ever knew. It woke me up and it shook me to my core. I was like, oh my God.
Good for you. Yeah, it took me ETs to figure it out.
No, for real. So you're like looking at them like, you're like, do you see me? He said, yeah, I see you. Do you see
Oh yeah.
me?
Oh
And
yeah.
you're like,
It's like
yeah.
it's like Jesus comes up to you and goes, so Courtney, here you go. This is what we got.
Right.
You
You're
get up
like,
and let the dog in. You bring the dog in. You do this. You do that. Oh yeah, and your mom says hi. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And then you wake up and you tell your friends, if you tell your friends, and you're labeled a nutcase.
yeah. And it's especially crazy when you got a whole family over there and
Yeah.
you're like, when did this happen? Like, they're like, you don't remember? You're like, well, I just became conscious. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Oh man,
crazy.
I'm getting stuff from before I was born all the time.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Family
That's really
matters. Yeah.
exciting.
Back in World War
But
II, shit, my family went through to get here, and they never told me. Shit, my family didn't even know. Oh, did you know you had a fucking uncle who was actually a German who was smuggling a baby across the ocean in a boat, and the fucking submarine he was on, the Nazi submarine was on, blew up and sunk. It's at the bottom of the Atlantic right now. I'm like,
dang.
yeah,
You're
I'm
like,
like, dude,
how did you know this? He said,
I know, right? No one in my family knows about it.
man.
Man, it's
Then you
crazy.
try to ask them and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're like, it's cool. But that's what I'm saying. Like I've been experiencing some of these experiences I've been experiencing, it feels lonely because especially when people that you talk to or like experience in your daily waking life, they don't know what you're talking about. They can't relate and it's very lonely sometimes.
Oh God, yep. You have no idea.
It is so lonely, but it's exciting because you're like, okay, you're living your life every day, but I get to do this both lives. So it is
Yeah.
what it is.
And you know what? I'm experiencing stuff that I've watched the New Ages talk about the spirit world and everything, and they ain't talking what I'm experiencing. Like they are
Man.
generally over
But
in general.
it's not as in
There's-
depth or specific, I feel like.
yeah, you got it. Yep. There's no
Because
meat to
it's
it.
like,
It's like
yeah, I was gonna say it's just the basic like meditate and manifest and law of attraction, but it's not like, okay, so this is some real shit that I have to go through in my daily life. And there's no tips and tricks to how to maneuver this because it's not talked about a lot.
yeah, I know,
I feel like
and
to
that's what I'm
the
trying to get
depth that you
across.
be talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the people who do experience, I really hope that they find your channel because like when I found your channel, my mom was blown. I was like, okay, so I'm not tripping. Cause I had a couple little experiences, but nothing like what you have. Like I knew that we were talking about similar things, but the experiences that you go through, you at a pro level. You feel me?
Yeah. I'm not bragging. It was just my experience, life and death, and I'm dropping it here. So,
Yeah, and your soul, I mean, probably agreed to experience this, or you know
oh
what I mean. You took many lifetimes or many experiences to evolve to this point, so it's not like you're bragging. You know, it's just something that you live your daily life, and it just is.
yeah, and there's people better than me that have cool experiences, but in their circumstance, for some reason they don't talk about it. For some reason they got not yet. You know, who knows? But everybody has their own path and they're doing it, so doing what they got to do.
Yeah,
So
it could be that they don't talk about it, maybe because of fear. Some people aren't ready. Okay, some people don't have the level of confidence or like self-acceptance to the point where they're able, because I know from my personal experience just on a basic level why I don't talk about something. So maybe it's because they don't feel like they'll be accepted, they'll be outcast, they could be followed by the government or like a secret intelligence,
yeah,
because I know people with certain blood types even get followed, like kept documents on and stuff like that. So it's kind of like maybe they're really scared because they don't understand what it is either.
yeah. I went through all that. I got nothing left. I'm ready to go. Fuck it.
I
Come in the
know.
door and shoot me. Fuck you. I don't care.
Because you're
I'm
like,
just sitting
it
here.
don't stop nothing,
Yeah,
and it
I've
don't
been there,
stop
done that.
nothing.
Yeah,
So
I've
it's
had
just like,
I've had I mean, 2 or 3, maybe 4 near-death experiences where I saw the light, went down the tunnel, met the fucking gatekeeper, met the guy, said, "Go back, you fucker," and
you think go
been there,
back, you
done that.
fucker.
So, I had gun pointed at my head 2 or 3 times, and
And at
by the
that point, when you're like, I don't really, what you gonna do? I don't care. That's the point where you get your most power because it's like you have, like, once you release all that fear, the
yeah,
stuff starts coming in, the downloads come in, the experiences come in, and I just think that's really cool that you were able to overcome that fear though.
yeah. It took me about a month to finally come right out. Like before, I just used stories, and then I'm like, that ain't really what it's happened. Like,
And it's
I,
not like it wasn't fulfilling your soul's mission,
yeah,
kind of.
yeah. And then
So
I
you're
said,
just
fuck.
like,
And then I said, fuck it all. I don't give a fuck. It's going on the air or going
yeah,
on the computer.
yeah, because a
Everything.
lot of people, I be showing my friends and stuff your videos, and a lot of people really they enjoy the fact that you are able to express yourself and come forward and tell people because a lot of people wouldn't tell nobody.
Yeah.
But I mean, imagine we're living this. Okay, so we're living it. In my opinion, this is how I view things. I feel like we're in a natural, just like a Matrix type vibe, but we're in a simulation. Like these simulations are like happening. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but imagine like this whole thing is like just a Matrix, not in a conspiracy theorist Matrix
Right.
vibe, but
No, I
like a
get you.
literal just a Matrix. And then there's like simulations inside the Matrix that it's kind of like
Yep.
people are just like not paying attention, they're not aware.
Yep.
But you got to be mindful that there's all of these energies that are influencing people's minds. So it's kind of like you got the music, you got the food, the water,
Yep.
the radiation, whatever it may be. So it's kind of like the people who aren't able to experience these things, it's just like you look at them and you're like, damn, I was just there at the same time. I wish you could experience what I'm going through. Maybe it's not your time. And it's just a big circle
You got it.
of
Yeah.
like,
The Matrix is the Earth. in the body.
It's just an experience. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
Avatar.
multiple experiences. Yeah, Avatar is exactly what I use. I love the movie Avatar.
Yeah.
Actually, the second one's coming out soon. I'm really excited to see
Oh
it, to
yeah.
be honest.
Yeah, I gotta
But
check that out. Yeah, so to me, it's like, okay, you're in this body. I can see it so much better than I could when I was 30 years old or 20 years old. And it's like you're having your experience on the earth, and your soul is with you, right? 100%. And you're engaged in each thing. Your soul and your body's engaged on a soul level and a physical level. In everything you do, get a job, go to the store, get groceries, drive the car, everything. And then all of a sudden you bypass it like I did. Boom. I blew my skins away.
and then you see it for what it is.
Yeah. And then you see a whole different level. And then you're like, holy shit. I should be dead,
Yeah.
but I'm still in my body. So now I can see where I'm connected to my body with my Christ and everything. And you ask him and he shows you. He did
Right.
not
But
all
it's
of it.
like
And then
sometimes
I know I know. Hold on one second. I'm just going to get to the end of
they're
this.
fine.
And then as now I'm experiencing life where I'd be walking down the street in a neighborhood and overlay that. I'm also physically, spiritually I'm seeing the physical and I'm seeing St. Illusion. I'm swimming in the ocean in
Right.
St. Illusion as I'm walking down the street here. And there's things going on around me in the
That's
ocean.
freaky.
Oh
That's
fuck.
freaky.
Oh my god. You just stop and start crying. And I understand what's happening to me. But the people that don't, they hear the voices in their heads, they're seeing things, they're having visions, and they end up yelling on a telephone pole. Plus, they're do you understand where I'm going?
Or they get put on medicine and you're like, dude, you're not okay. So either it's like okay, so you got two options. You got the option of what you're going through, and you got the option of like a buildup of like heavy metals, childhood trauma, all of these things. So you got on one hand, you got somebody who may think they're schizophrenic or they may think they're crazy. In reality, they're really hearing and seeing real shit, but doctors don't merge spirituality with the body and the physical. And I'm like, you're not tripping. But I don't tell everybody this because some people really just have a different wiring in their brain. That's cool, right? But I'm not a doctor, so I just be like, look,
Beliefs.
is it this or is it this? Like,
Yep. People have belief systems.
yeah,
And everything's filtered
so
through
strong.
belief systems. Yep.
Uh-huh.
And it's filtered through belief systems, so they got a false fucking idea of what they're experiencing on either side because of the belief systems.
And it's so strong, like to the point where you're like not able sometimes in this lifetime to experience things that you're meant to because of the other people's beliefs that they're pushing on. But to imagine it's all a program from the beginning school.
Yep. You don't even know the truth.
It's fake. It's just fake as fuck. And it's a thing to keep you constantly going and constantly thinking.
Yep.
And you never really have time to sit back and reflect. Who are you? What am I doing? What is this experience? And that's another thing that the psychedelics had helped me personally. I don't recommend it for anybody else, but for me, it allowed me, I came from such a background that was like, none of this is real. Every time I would see spirits or have experience of spiritual things other than this third dimension world, like they were just like, oh no, that's not, you might need mental help. And I'm like, but I see this, you don't see this? And they're like, no, I don't see this. And I'm like, damn, that's really unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. And my advice to you right now is if someone comes up to you and you're talking to them in the spirit world, don't fucking talk to them unless they're important. You know what I mean?
And see, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I've been having a lot more spiritual experiences, and it's like what you go through, I don't I haven't like kept up 100% on everything, but it's kind of like when you go through the experiences of the people you meet, and it's hard to trust when you have these experiences. It's hard to trust in this waking reality and the other reality of who do you trust, who are these people, and what are their intentions. You got to use discernment, and it's crazy because you really just got to believe in the inner light and the connection, right?
Yep,
But it's
that's
like
all you got.
when you
That's all you
speak to
got.
them, it opens you up, and it's like you don't really know who's who. And that's the thing, except for you can feel their energy. But it's like when you're so new to it, like I be having experiences in my sleep state because my body's asleep, but I'm existing somewhere else, and I be other people. Like I look different, and and you could tell the difference like at first I couldn't tell, but since I've been writing down my dreams, like I have these experiences where I'm other people and I'll keep having this experience. So I'm either thinking it's a past life and I'll be active sometimes and I'm like, oh my God, this is real and I'm awake right now. And this isn't just a dream. And it's like, I'll be talking to people or experiencing people, and some of the people, they're just more conscious than others. And I don't know if you have this experience when you're in your experience over there. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Saint Lucian or whatever?
Saint Lucian.
Yeah.
Lucian
When
means
you're there,
yeah.
do they act the same as they do here when you try to talk to them about here?
Yes.
And they're
They
like,
think
what are
they're
you talking
some
about?
people. Some people think they are here when for some reason Christ tells me now with Jesus Christ or and other people that know they will talk to me and they'll understand. So everything you just said, they know. Christ knows how
Oh,
he knows everything you just said. So he won't put you in
okay.
that position like a real good Christ.
Oh,
A good Christ. Now if and he'll talk to you on like I'm talking to you now about this stuff. And he'll be walking. I'll be sitting in a restaurant with Christ. He'll take me out for a beer or something, and he does that. We're sitting in a restaurant, and he goes, "See the people over there?" I go, "Yeah," and he goes, "That's so and so. He's with me too." And he goes, "Guess what?" I go, "What?" And he goes, "He thinks he's still on the earth. He died."
that blows my mind.
Yeah, yeah, and we just sit around a coffee shop, and he's telling me that
And
guy
that's probably
thinks he's.
why they say,
You see him wearing a mask? He doesn't have to wear a mask. He's dead. But guess what?
wow.
He thinks he's on the earth and the virus is out, and he was told to wear a mask. Now, do you see the conditioning you're in? And I'm like, dude, I can tell you the same thing because I already know everything you know. Because I used to be a Christ, but I couldn't deal with it,
Right.
the two worlds. So I'm like, I'm out. Fuck it.
That's another thing I was gonna say. It blows my mind. Is that what two things? One thing, is that what they meant when they say when you die and some people don't realize they're dead? Also, the other question is the fact that you have to deal with these two experiences. That's why most human brains can't comprehend, and that's why we put the veil over when we come here, because living two lives. That's why they say sometimes it's not beneficial to have a past life um regression or something, because you start to live that past life and it drives people crazy.
Yeah. Yep. That too. That comes out. So what happened with me was this for 90% of my life, I've been normal. Okay. When I was a little kid, you go to school, you come home, you play road hockey, you bitch about your homework, just normal stuff. You look for a fucking job and you move on and you try to get laid. And that's all I fucking did. But
Right.
along that path of normal stuff, I have quick experiences where, holy fuck, what's that in the sky? Or at night, I'll be dreaming, chanting weird words for no goddamn reason at all. And people are talking to me. I'm seeing people walk around, and I'm like, fuck.
It's crazy because I'm relating. I have some of those experiences as well.
You know,
And it's like, I was going to ask you, at what point did all of this just hit you like a ton of bricks? How old were you?
oh, I was 16, I think.
Okay, so that was your first experience, was when you were
No,
16?
no, I was just
Oh,
starting to
wow.
walk when the ETs showed up spiritually.
Bro, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I was just starting
That's
to walk.
fun. You're like looking around like, what's old boy doing over there? Like, why he look like that?
They were at the top of a tree. I was laying in my bed and I woke up in the middle of the night and I'm like, somebody's up there talking to me, right? Outside the house above a tree. But spiritually, I can fucking see the craft. I can see
Right.
UFO above the tree in the backyard. And it's talking to me. And I go, well, I have to go fucking see that. So I jump out of bed and I start running for the back door. Oh, I didn't even run to it. I started going towards the door of my bedroom. And then a voice in my head said, go back to bed or we're gonna come and get you and tell your mom. And I went, oh shit. Oh, that's not good. And I'm like, what did he mean by that? They're gonna get me and tell my mom. Whatever it is, I freaked out and I jumped back in bed. And I'm thinking, they're still up there. I can feel them. Like, it's
Right.
the only thing I could do is feel them. Nothing else mattered because that's how powerful it was. And they're staring at, I didn't see physically nothing, but I heard them and I could see the UFO outside, but I'm in my bed. And then in the morning, I wanted to tell my mom who were they were going to come get me if I went in the backyard. So she's getting my Cheerios ready. She's on the phone with grandma, and I'm bugging her, Ma. She's like, wait till I'm done talking on the phone. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, how am I gonna ask her, right? Then she gets on the phone. She pours me my Cheerios or whatever I got to eat, and I go, Mom, who's gonna come get me if I go out inside to see him? Because Mom's supposed to know. And she goes, if you go outside, I'm gonna come smack your ass. It doesn't matter who's coming to see you.
I'm
She's gonna
weak.
kick your ass.
That's what I'm talking about, though. That's
Yeah,
that shit too. Cause like, if my kid said something to me, at one point I would be like, I that's why I try to be so open. I want to be interested when she has these experiences, because she looks at stuff and points at stuff, laughs at stuff, talks at stuff, and she's only 1.5. So it's kind of like she's already starting to do that. And um that's why I'm getting her into the experiences of meditating and all kinds of stuff, because I want her ascension or evolution to be a little bit easier than it was for me.
yeah,
Even though I know the world could be a little cruel and they just push you down and call you weird, but it's kind of like these experiences are reality. But also, I was going to ask you, so as they're up there and you feel their energy, you like, so are you going to go away or what? Because I can
yeah,
feel you.
yeah.
Like,
I thought it was normal, but abnormal at the same time. Like I wasn't afraid of it. They're just people at the top of the tree in a round thing talking to me. So I didn't know any different.
right,
But
right. And I would have thought the same thing.
yeah, but really blew me off. We're gonna come and get you and tell your mom. And that's the part that
So,
got me. Tell him don't tell mom. Jesus Christ, don't do
right. Right.
that.
For
Oh,
real.
don't do
Because
that.
mom
Yeah.
don't play. Mom don't
Yeah,
play.
that's right. That's right. And
So
so I
so
just
she's
followed the
like
orders, man.
hearing you talk about these beings, and you're just like, I want, so did you ever eventually talk to her about these beings as like you got older?
Oh yeah, a lot older before I
What'd she
came out.
say?
She goes, "Yeah, I've seen them. She saw a UFO.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
Oh
she
wow.
didn't have the spiritual contacts that she remembers, but she said she was riding her bike to Lake Erie, and her and her friends or sisters, and this was back just after like I don't even know how when there was no jets in the sky, put it that
Mm,
way. And she saw this big long silver UFO that looks like a jet, but it was just sitting
right.
there, and they didn't have no jets back then.
And it's probably not making any sound.
Right, so it looked like a blimp, but it was
Oh
just sitting
real.
way up there, just totally stationary. And she looked at it as she was driving to the lake on her bike, and that's about the only time she ever saw one, I think, other than lights in the sky. But
So for you, it's kind of like a two-parter. I have a lot of two-part questions because my
yeah,
mind, I have ADHD, so my mind's like boom, 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 right? So I'm wondering, when you, okay, so how, whatever age you were, as you started experiencing these beings more, and you were face to face at one point, I think you said, and they looked a little kind of like grumpy faced or something.
yeah, yeah,
So when you felt their energy and it was so strong, right? And I just wanted to know, what was the texture of their skin, and could you smell them?
yeah. Sometimes I smelled them. Had like an acrid smell, like I don't know how, like their skin looked. I never really went out and touched them, so I don't know. But it was like a thin leather.
I was gonna say that, and I was gonna say, what there's different races. Do you know what their race was like?
Yeah, I know, but I forgot. It's on my videos.
So I'm gonna say this is a general term. Like, were they like grays? They weren't
No,
insectoids, right? They were
they
like,
they were. This is what they looked like. They were beige, wrinkly. They had a beige suit on, a skin suit with all these black lines all over it.
do you think their outfit was alive?
No, but it was their outfit was writing what they are.
Oh,
The black lines were have a lot of different meanings. I know
right.
one means um we're here, we're going to there, sort of thing. And you have to go to this, and the lines
Oh,
show you how to get there. So I don't really know, but I knew the lines had meanings
right.
where the
So the another question I have is, do have you had any more recent experiences with him, and why have they stopped, do you think?
because I'm so wrapped up in Christ and I'm getting fucking old. I wouldn't survive if I had what I had when I was
Mm.
18. I wouldn't have made it. I
It
would
was
have
like
been
heart attacks,
Oh
like a
God,
feeling
yeah, I'd pass out. My heart would pound so goddamn hard.
because
That's
you
all
were
I could hear.
scared?
Yeah, and
See, and that's
also
why
that
I'm wondering.
I wasn't even scared. It's like, okay, when I figured out, right before I figured out to open my heart, where you open your heart, this is what they did. They'd come at 3 o'clock, and I'm laying in bed at midnight. Let's say I go to bed at midnight, and then I start getting these weird feelings. And mostly it was like anxiety. I couldn't sleep. I'm just laying there, and then my heart would slowly start pounding, and I start
Mhm.
sweating, and these waves would
I was having
haze.
experiences just like that, but I never saw anything clearer than a clairvoyant vision.
Right, right. And then I hear these sounds, and I wore earplugs because I have a big family and they all make noise. So I just throw in earplugs, and I've adapted it that way. And in my head, I'm hearing ringing, Morse codes, all these weird sounds, and a field of crickets. You know what a field of crickets sounds like at night? At night, what it sounds like?
Odd.
Yeah, and
It's
it's like
loud.
that. It's like that, but it's not real loud. But as time goes on, and the closer the ETs get, but I don't know they're there yet, the sound's getting louder. So by the end of it, I got these waves of tingles. I'm sweating. I'm crying. I think I poisoned myself from whatever I ate at supper time, and I'm dying. This is how you die, Rich. Okay, let's go see what's going on. So as that's happening, everything intensifies. The loud, the screaming, ringing, the field of crickets, the beeping, and then in your mind's eye, with your eyes closed, I'm I'm flying a jet over the earth real fast, like a fighter movie, Top Gun. I'm flying, but I ain't doing anything. I'm just looking at it, and the whole everything is burned to a crisp, nuked. The whole world is nuked. There's nothing
Do you think
green.
that's a vision of the
Yep,
time in the future?
yep. Well, they're saying don't get to this point,
Oh, see, and that's a
more or
common
less.
message that I hear that they say. But
Yeah,
also, I was wondering, so most, the only reason I figured you just had a contract with them, your soul did. But I
I do.
also heard often that they're not allowed to interfere with us. So I'm not sure if they're communicating with you because they need to like observe us, or they need to harvest DNA because they're extinct or becoming extinct. I mean,
Mhm.
but then I was also wondering like, um, so I was wanting to have this experience with ETs. I used to do Stephen Greer CE5 like contact thing. I would try to contact them. I would start seeing like beings. I am not sure if it was because I was at a low vibration or if it was they were nice or not, but I started seeing beings in my meditation state. I would often see insectoid beings like mantis beings. I love them. I'm not gonna lie, the energy that they was
Yep.
giving me was love, right? But the beings that you were explaining, they kind of seem a little scary, and I was wondering like, or like, I mean, there's obviously good and bad within each type of being, but it's also like I was curious, do you think that they're doing something against the like galactic confederation, like where
No.
they're like coming in inappropriately with you?
No, no, no. Because okay, see the rules, the grid on the earth, the control grid on the earth, the rich people that fucking own us and tell us what to do every day.
Pretty much.
Yeah, them fuckers. They think they own the world. They think they own everything.
And they think they know something, but I
Yeah,
feel like they don't know nothing.
they don't know nothing.
Could be. I always thought it was either draconians or reptilians that were in on it, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure if I'm tripping.
yeah, yeah. See, there's different races visiting the earth.
And
Now
they're
you got
cool. Some of them are cool, and some of them are not
that's
cool.
right. And the ETs, my soul contract happened before I came here, and I relived it to see what happened. So me and Tina, we were. I said, Tina, come on with me. I gotta go talk to the ETs before I'm born into this body.
Right.
And we're way up on 16 or whatever, like
Right.
way up high in the spirit, like inner light stuff.
Yeah.
So we go down this hallway, I open the door, and we're sitting there talking. I'm like, yeah, they'll be here when I get here. We just gotta wait. And all of a sudden, you start seeing a little circle spinning, and you're
Portal
looking,
probably.
and on the other side of the door is outer space. So I'm standing looking at outer space. And all of a
Right.
sudden, in outer space, there's a little spin going on of color, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it spins around these colors, and all of a sudden, boom, the door opens up, and the ETs come walking down the hallway up to their door, and then the doors connect, and so I'm standing on one side of the door, they're standing on the other side of the door. And I said, "Look, guys, I'm going to be born on the earth. I just need you to wake me the fuck up." I told him,
See,
"Wake me up."
I'm so grateful that you have that experience, even though it was a little bit stressful for you when you were younger. I wish I could experience that, but I mean, everybody has their own experiences for a reason. But
Mhm.
I'm like, I feel so bored in this lifetime because there's nothing exciting going on. Like this is how I practice astrology. I'm starting to get into Vedic astrology because I feel like I actually don't know if I'm pronouncing that right because I don't know if it's anyway, it's called Vedic and tropical or something. I'm not sure. I'm just getting into this. But anyway, so I believe personally that when you're born on this earth, you have kind of like a map in astrology, right? And I feel like since the energies that I was gifted with when I came here, I feel like I'm often finding myself in escapism and wanting to be spiritual, even though we're all spiritual. But I'm saying it in the best terms I know how. But it's like I'm finding myself looking for all of these metaphysical experiences. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm wanting, like, my body's yearning to have these experiences, and I'm living in a world that's like witches aren't real, or like, you get
I
what I'm
know.
trying to say? And I'm like,
Yes,
I'm
yes. Been
really
there,
kind
done
of
that.
feeling low and lonely. And it's like
No.
they're just wanting you to get a 9 to 5 job and be a
Yeah.
slave.
Now
And
that's
they're
the
like,
matrix. Okay, you want more in this life.
more. And I feel
Yeah,
like
and so what you gotta do is just keep searching, man. That's the whole
like
fucking keep doing, keep meditating, fulfill what is in your heart. Go for it.
yeah, like Dolores Cannon says, like,
Yep.
I follow her work, and it's just like I'm stuck in this place where the 3D world, or whatever it is, the matrix, or whatever we are living in, it's becoming very cruel for me because I'm a type of person who is like a humanitarian, like environmentalist. Like, I'm wanting to promote these things, and I'm wanting people to also see their spiritual side. I'm like torn between like helping the world, going for therapy to help people. I want people to know, but I'm like, I don't want to do 13 years of school to teach somebody that you could just talk to your higher self.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm stuck in this position right now in my life where I'm developing who I am from who I used to be, and separating that person, because your ego doesn't want to let go,
Uh-huh.
and you want to hold on to the trauma you had, and you want to hold on to the life that you had prior. So I'm trying to work on experiencing what you're experiencing. But it's just like Dolores Cannon said was practically that if she had got the information she had as she got older, she would have rejected it, and she wouldn't have. It was the journey practically, and that's the thing I'm suffering with, because I'm a like a go person.
Right,
I
right.
don't like to wait. The earth energy of like waiting and going slow. I'm kind of like, oh
Okay, you
no,
want you want to see the aliens and shit, right? And you want to have a
right,
so you got to take it one step at a time,
slow,
and
right,
your own soul knows the steps
right.
over. So and that's
And I'd be
that's
asking my higher self, like, what am I supposed to do next? And I
it's a
get little
pain in the ass.
crumbs and
Yeah.
little signs, and I'm like, so you gonna talk to me or not? I know you see me, I know you hear me, but are you gonna talk to me or not? And they're probably
Yeah.
like, ma'am, we can't interfere. But I'm like, I'd be begging. I'm like, look, I know you see me lonely down here. I know you see me damn near about to be homeless or in this poverty situation. And they're like, but you gotta heal yourself. You gotta do the work. And I'm like, but I'm scared. I don't know what's going on. Like,
Yeah, I know, and
because
no
I
one's
know
back.
it's
No one's backing you. Nobody's backing
and
you.
I'm like, I know what's going on over here, like in the other experiences, like the psychedelic experience, but you can have that through meditation. But it's like, I know what's over there, and I know y'all fucking hear me. And then I'm over here, and I don't, and I be thinking to my higher self, why did I do this contract?
Yep.
Why did I do this contract? Okay. They're like, are you sure you want to do this? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And I come down here and I'm like, why did I do that? Somebody come get me.
Yep. I know.
Like,
Watch it. Watch it with the contracts. You they'll
for
trick you.
real.
The bad
For
guys,
real.
yeah, oh yeah, oh
And
you're
that's what I'm a
fucked
little bit
then.
wary of. And see, that's why I don't know how to like I don't know I don't okay, so when you're unconscious to those things, you're at a really high level, right? So I'm at this low level, I'm thinking about everything I do. I'm like, should I do this, should I do that? And I'd be always saying like, spirit, if it is in my highest good, please sever any energetic
Yeah,
connections
I
that
hear
no
you.
longer serve me and the contracts. But I'm like, I never know if it's really working.
Yeah, exactly. The seeds of
So
doubt in your head. I got it too. Still do.
yeah,
I still do.
yeah,
But it's a seed of doubt that used to be there, but when I'm consciously in my mind thinking reality, that fucking seed of doubt's like, wake up, asshole, asshole, you're a fucking asshole, you know. It's sort of
yeah.
reversed now. So when I start thinking normal, all I gotta do is close my eyes and here I am, a sane illusion. I'm like, oh yeah, fuck.
Right.
You
So
know,
there's also the question of, I was wondering from your personal perspective, this is a thought that's been going through my mind lately, and I was curious of your thoughts on this.
yeah.
When it comes to really powerful people who are born onto this earth, I always believe strongly that anyone who is a drug addict, or anyone who has mental health issues or anything like that, or who has got abused from a young age, I always wonder if they are very, very strong, the most like strong, powerful beings, and they're not falling into the system, so the reality is cruel for them. And I feel like these people are the most powerful people, and I was wondering if is this crazy to think this, that there are some energies or some type of being behind the scenes, like the movie Matrix, where they can like, so anytime I talk to people, certain people, about anything real deep and spiritual or something out of the norm, they just go blank and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, that's weird, maybe you should get help. And I'm like, whoa, are you cool?
Been
I
there,
was
done that.
wondering, is it someone jumping into their body, or is it just the deep programming and beliefs? Or
Both. All of it.
but then
All of it.
and I'm like,
All of it.
and I'm always wondering, every time I'm trying to do something great, I don't know if it's just me, if I'm tripping, or if I'm creating my own reality by my thoughts, but it's like every time I feel like I'm trying to do something real powerful, my electronics mess up, or I forget it because everything's going like, other thoughts other than mine are coming into my head, beating into my head. And I'm like, hold on a minute, I'm trying to do this. And they're like, no, no, forget it, what you was doing. And I'm like, it's so many levels. Like, and I was wondering, like, do you think that there's some type of energy or being trying to keep us from ascending or letting this shit out?
Yeah. All of it.
I thought I was tripping. I'm like,
Dude,
I
it
know
is
there's got
so
to be
fucking
something
complex. It's so complex.
so complex.
It's so complex. You need 50 years of experiences just to fucking start to understand.
Yeah.
And
And it's exhausting.
and
Like,
yeah, and Christ has got me in this fucking cradle thing
yeah.
just to keep me alive,
I
literally.
know. So what's that like? How do you feel about that? So okay, so I was wondering, with your experience, you're here right now, but if something happens to you over there, do you die here as well?
Yeah,
Or is it just a different
that's called a
dimension?
breach. It's called a breach. And
Oh
every
shit.
fucking doctor that you've ever fucking seen knows on some fucking level in them, and they've been in the hospitals where people have arrived and they're dead or they're injured. And how did this happen? Everyone, I don't give a shit. I
Right.
know it.
I know what you're talking about. That's so weird that you said that, because I don't know. We don't really know what happened. So my aunt, she was like my mom or whatever, right? She had an instant heart attack and died. But I'm thinking, but why? She
Yeah,
was cool. I don't know if maybe she had been doing drugs or if she was stressed. I don't know, because we didn't get the autopsy. But
right.
it's like a 30, I don't remember how old she was, 32 or 36. I forgot, to be honest. And I'm wondering, like, how do you just die? Like, there's got to be another reason. So maybe she was going, because she used to see spirits a lot.
Well, there you go.
So
I'm
I'm
not
like,
saying it was nefarious. It could have been natural. It could have been
right.
normal problems. But
There's
I
always a
went to
thought.
bed. I went to bed one night, and I was this girl. I was going to ask this girl. She was beautiful, and I'm working at the coffee shop, and I meet this girl, and we don't talk. We didn't talk or anything, but spiritually, my seeds went bam, just glowing. And I'm like, holy shit, I guess she's important. And she was glowing. And then we connected. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, right? With the seeds. And it's like, we know each other or something.
You found out?
And yeah, well, this is late. Yeah, I found out later. But I go home that night and I'm thinking about her. My seeds are glowing. So I'm thinking about her and I can hook up to her from my seeds to her seeds. And we're right in each other's face, right? So I'm laying there and I fall asleep on my back, glowing. I go into this dream where me and her are holding hands walking down the road, and she invites me into her house, and I'm like, and then
Right.
we go into her house, and so I'm sitting in the living room. She goes, I have to go to the bathroom or something. So I'm like, cool. And she goes into the bathroom, and the air conditioner comes on. So the air conditioner's blowing, and I'm in her house, and all of a sudden, exhaust starts coming out of the air conditioner.
She's trying to
Like,
kill you?
well, I didn't know. I'm like, and then all of a sudden I start choking. I'm going, and this exhaust is getting bad, worse and worse. And I start walking towards the door. As I get to the door, I wake up and I'm laying on my bed, and I wake up, and all of a sudden this hole opens up in front of me. I'm consciously awake, 100%. The hole opens up in front of me. I'm going, what the fuck is that? And all of a sudden a fist went, pow! Punched me right in the fucking eye.
Why?
Cut my eyebrow open, the whole eyebrow.
Who
Cut me
and
here.
why?
Now, there was a demon attached to her, and it owned her.
Oh,
It owned her sex. It
wow.
owned her heart. It owned her decision making.
And
And
that's the shit that I'm talking about. So this is another thing I wanted to ask you about. I'm gonna tell you after that. Go ahead, tell
okay,
me.
well, what it did was when it punched me in the dream, I was wearing my glasses, but in this reality, I wasn't wearing my glasses. So when it punched me, it left a scar of my glasses all on my head, and up here, I don't know what I got cut. I got cut on the top of my head, and it was bleeding too. So I jumped out. I immediately called Black Hawk, who was my native bud, and spiritually. And it took me a long time because I didn't know where he was, but he came eventually. And then I ran to my cousin's, and he's in his room with his wife. And so I knocked on the door quiet. Daryl, 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 Daryl. He was on here before. And he come on, he's what? And I'm fucking covered in blood. So I run to the bathroom and I'm washing my blood off me. Like blood, literally. Ugh. And I told him what happened. And then he went into my room and checked it out to see if, and I said, look, maybe I'm wrong here, but this happened, but maybe an intruder put a baseball bat to my head. He ran around the house and checked. There was no one in the house. Nothing was disturbed. All the doors were locked, and nothing fell on my head because all I had was a lamp beside me, and my glasses were sitting on the table.
So,
So there you
man,
go. And it was all because I spiritually hooked up to a girl that I liked in a dream, and she had a talent.
so what was I gonna say? I don't remember the second thing I was gonna say, but the first thing I was gonna say is, so that's another thing that has had me curious lately is people who are connected to you for sex, like using your sexual energy. Like I keep having these dreams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So mind you, I asked my body one time before I went to bed, okay, body, please show me where I'm storing any like trauma or energy built up in my body, right? Then I have a idea, it was the bottom three chakras or whatever. So I keep having these dreams where I'm having sex with people or about to, and like I was like bending down, like like where your face is on the ground but your butt's in the air or whatever,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're like kissing on my back, and as soon as they get at a certain spot in my back, the same time, it happens different ways in different dreams, and it's a piercing pain straight through my one of my bottom three chakras, and it fucking hurts so bad, and I wake up in real life and I like my body jumps up off the bed, and I'm wondering, is somebody attached to me? Is something like, is it a sign that I don't remember if it just was linked up with me asking my body, was there trauma or energy stored, or if it was my body trying to show me, my spirit team trying to show me, this is what you need to be focusing on, or is it
yeah,
something sexually attached to me in another reality? Because it's scary, but it'll look like people that I like.
yeah,
So I'm like, are you just a being trying to use me? Or because like like in the dream, I was being like so calm, like they were like kissing on me and stuff, right? And I was calm and I was relaxed and I was so fucking mellow, and you could feel it in your real
yeah,
body, right?
yeah, yeah,
Real body. But anyway, so then it's like, then that happened and it stung through my back. Their mouth was like stinging through my back, and it happens in different ways in different dreams, like I said. But I'm like, what the fuck does this mean?
wow, that's a heavy one, man.
It's scary because if somebody's like attached to you on the other side, like It's very scary, especially if you're like overly sexually active and you're kind of like a
Yeah.
sex addict and you're like, is this really me or is it something using the energy from me? It's deep.
Yeah. So, um, it could be symbolic representation of what happened to you from the past. The pain in your back tells me,
Felt like a knife through my
oh yeah,
right.
been there, done that. I had my toes cut off.
Fuck.
And I watched it. I watched it.
In real life,
Yeah,
right now?
no, not physically, in the spirit
Oh,
world, but it
okay.
hurts. It hurts just as bad.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So that's what I was wondering also. So I wonder if where you go, is it another dimension or is it a real you? Like I'm
It's
wondering
real
how
me.
does that reality kill you? Or is it because your two realities are linked? So therefore, if you die there, you die here. But then I'm imagining we are you, me, whoever is alive in thousands of dimensions at once, right?
Yeah,
So
I'll be
since you're
right
not
back with that answer.
consciously,
I have to go
go
pee.
ahead,
I have
go
to go
ahead, go
pee real
ahead.
fast. Okay, I'll be
You're good.
right back with that answer, and I'll blow your fucking
Go
mind.
ahead. Yeah, I was giving you that to color, just so you're not bored. No, it's okay.
Okay, wait for Courtney to get back on.
Okay.
All right, so had me a spider Christ. He was pretty powerful. Anyway, he took me away once. I woke up and he goes, "Hey, Rich," and I was in his cradle or whatever, and he grabs this little box inside me. It looked like a little box, and he grabbed it and he lifted it up. And he goes, and light came out underneath, and then he closed it. And he goes, clink, and he opens it and closes it. And he lifts the box and lifts it, and he goes, as soon as I rip this off, you're dead. I'm going, what the fuck are you talking about? Then I called another Jesus Christ to come, but he left, and I called another Jesus Christ that I knew. He came, and I go, what is this? And I reached down and I grabbed a box, and I lifted it up, and it was really tight. And light came out, and he goes, take your fucking hands off that. He smacks me in the head. He goes, don't fucking ever touch that. And he goes, don't ever. And I go, well, the other guy, Christ, that's taking care of me, and this guy was
That's the
taking
shit
care
that
of
I'm
me.
talking about. The fake,
Yeah.
the one who are fakes, and you don't really know until you know.
You dream about spiders on a particular Christ? That's what you got. A spider Christ. And he's fake. So that's what spiders mean. Anyway, I go, what is that? What is it? And he goes, that's your foundation. You rip that foundation off, you're dead. You separate from your body. Just like that.
So, okay, this is the question I have. This life and that life, is your life over there when you're in it? Do you feel as if you are now, like in a meat suit,
No.
or do you feel like a spirit?
You have a meat suit, but you feel fucking beautiful. It's
Okay.
you, you're walking. Okay, you walk down the street now, and you feel like you're feeling. You got your pains, you got your addictions, you need water, you need food, you need crap, you need to piss. It's like that here. But when you're there, it it it's as dense, it's as real as this world. But you gotta have the insight, the sight, to see beyond it. You can stop in the middle of the street, okay, just as real. Close your mind and meditate, and disappear, and go somewhere else.
Damn.
Instantly travel just by meditating, and you go to your home. So you can go shopping, meditate, and you're at home.
Then I feel like we could do that in this reality as well,
Yeah,
but
and that's
the
called the illusion.
programming.
That's called the illusion. You're in St. Lucian. Let's just say there's thousands of cities for everything. The St. Lucian is the most democratic one. And that's why I live there. Because I'll be fighting and killing everybody. If they stuck me in fucking Islam, forget about it. I'd be dead in a minute. So that's why I'm in St. Lucian. It's democratic. So, and I'm walking down the street and I take a coin and I'm hitting a pole on a bridge, and I'm clinking it, clink, 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 clink. And I'm going, fuck, that's so real. It's so fucking, I feel it, and it's ice cold. I got some dirt on my hands. Cars are going by, and Jesus comes up beside me and goes, hey, he goes, what are
You
you
good?
doing? Yeah, you good guy. He was a good guy. He goes,
No, he's like, "Are you good, fam? What you doing?" Like,
yeah, well, he was telling me what I was doing. And he goes, well, how's that pole feel? He goes, pretty real, eh? I go, yep. I can't fucking believe this. Look at I feel,
and it's
and,
normal to him. So
yeah.
he's just like,
He goes, you're in St. Lucian, Rich. I'm like, holy fuck. Holy fuck.
no, for real.
For real, man. And I got tingles hitting me right now. And it was the winds hitting me, the smell of the ocean, the
Because
fucking
it's the
garbage.
first experience, one of the like first real
Oh no,
experiences where you
I've had
realize
hundreds.
you're like, this is real. Like
Yeah,
one of those
yeah.
first experiences.
Yeah, that was a
Not
good
literally not literally the first experience, but so what I was saying was I'm not comprehending. Maybe you can explain it a little simpler. So this life, you have that box in you right now, right?
one. Oh yeah, we all do.
And in the other life, you also have that same exact one. So I'm wondering if every us in each dimension, that just that one box. So what happens if I was to break that box open and you die? Where do you go? Because we never really die, right?
Right. The box keeps you in your body, in
Oh,
your physical body. Yeah. Keeps your soul in your
oh,
physical body. And there's other things that keep your soul. The
oh,
skins wrap and they go around
right.
your physical body. It's a union between your body and your soul body, and the skins. And there's got to be 1,000 of them. They wrap around
Wow.
your bones, around
That's
your,
why you feel so tight. Like, oh
yeah.
my gosh.
And man, you're wrapped up tight.
Like a mummy, my guy.
Yeah, and that's what it means. Well, I blew all my skins.
How?
A spirit went into my inner light.
You a bad bitch.
Went into my inner light, went up my head, and all my fucking
See,
skins were
I'm
gone.
trying to do that.
You
I'm
don't
trying
want
to do that. Okay, was that a bad
When you're
experience?
60 years old, all right, that's fine. But fucking when you're fucking 40 years old, you don't need to
So
do
what was
that. Your
that
life
like
is
then?
fucking over. Everything you know, the way you're living, everything gone.
So would you
And
rather have had that experience younger or older?
older, definitely.
Why?
Because you can't survive it. I bet
Oh,
I
what do you
bet
mean?
I bet 99% of the population. Well, okay, look at it this way. Go into the mental ward for people that hang themselves. Okay, when you hang yourself, my friend, he hanged himself 3 times and he died and he came back. And guess what? He sees the exact same shit I do, but it's a little different. Okay? He lost his skins. He was exposed to the spirit world. He sees the ghost, he talks to him, everything. Go to the mental ward where the people are having that experiences.
And that's what I be saying. Those people aren't fucking crazy. If it depends on if their body, their physical body's fucked up from poisons or heavy metals, whatever it may be,
Yep.
right? That they're fucked
You
because it's kind of
goddamn right.
like,
You goddamn right.
but when it's not that, and they're really seeing shit that's real, but the people are so ignorant. We're so behind on our evolution. It's disgusting.
You have no idea. Yeah. Spiritual
It's
evolution.
disgusting.
Yep.
Spiritual
And then
evolution.
I have a girlfriend. I had an ex-girlfriend. When she has this anxiety problem,
Right.
and whenever she has a breakdown, she goes to the mental ward and she's talking to Jesus. She has to go to the mental ward to talk to Jesus.
I'm laughing
She's been
because
there.
she really probably is having that experience, and it's not funny as in like that she's going through that, but it's funny because she's like, look, I can't take this shit. It's crazy.
I know. You just max out. You max out. And I told her how to deal with her anxiety, but she don't believe me. So
Because it's like everybody has to go through something, and humans learn best with pain. they got to go through some traumatizing, crazy, painful experience. And I know that because myself, I go through that shit. And you know, they're like, okay, I'm gonna give it to you the easy way. And I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see it. And then they're like, okay, you're gonna get it the hard way. And I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit, what
One way or the
happened?
other. One way or the other, you're gonna learn. So
Yeah, because you
that's
have
why
to.
I say
It's inevitable.
that's why I say just go to your light and let it teach you. Just give up, give it up. Take your fucking mind out of the equation. Let your fucking inner light project and go to your head and listen. Listen
And
to your innocence. Listen
I
to your
see when
innocence
it's
and your inner light. That's it.
I see when people have a really hard time though, like it's like it sometimes I have to sit back and think of myself as like, okay, you're stepping into the ego position when I'm like, wow, how do you not see what I'm talking about to certain people, right? But you can't just be mean to them because they don't know what's
Right.
going on.
Right.
Because you was once unconscious, but once you're I would just call it conscious, even though we're all kind of like conscious, you know what I mean? I just use it in the simple terms of like conscious and unconscious, but it's like at one point I wasn't conscious and I think to myself, how the fuck was I so stupid?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then it's like you got to go through things
You,
that teach you lessons and experiences and you start to evolve, but I want more. But then it's like you got to have duality. So you want more of this positive experience, but you got to take the lessons with it, whether
yep.
it be negative or positive as
Yep.
well. You
Keep that
can't
balance.
constantly just have
Like,
positive. And
no, you
that's what
need the balance because you'll go fucking nuts. You'll turn into one of them glossy-eyed freaks that just sit around. I dance on rainbows all day, and I got angels as my dog is an angel.
that's me.
You know, you don't want to be a fucking guru freak. You don't, man. Stay in fucking reality. And by me saying fuck all the time on here, it's get back home, Rich. You ain't fucking with the angels yet. You still got fucking crazy fucking guys in the hallway ready to kill you.
No, you're
And
not lying.
and you gotta fucking stay grounded. You just can't go to level 16 and fucking check out and walk around.
That's me. I'm wanting to check the fuck out
You
mentally.
can't, man. Don't
Like,
don't
okay,
go
it's
high.
like it's like people for drug addiction. I'm like, I got a little food addiction and I got a little spiritual addiction. I'd be like, oh motherfucker, and they're like, chill out. You can't just be like, listen, often my partners will tell me, you tripping. You can't just do that every day. And I'm like, please, I want to do it every day. I don't want to go to 9 to 5. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to hear people's bullshit. I just want to
Yeah,
be with my
I know.
spirit team because they cool. They're high vibration. They're cool. But you know, they're their own they're just okay. For example, we're all one, right? But it's like there are different levels of like
Yes.
but it's like some of them are real cool, but they still got their flaws.
Yep. Everybody does. That's
So
the
we gotta
earth
be
is a
careful.
school.
Because I be leaving it up to my spirit team. I'm like, fuck it. I'm about to just give up. I don't care. I fuck my life, right? And they're like, I say, help me. And right, they say, okay, you didn't be so specific, so I'm gonna help you, but it's gonna be my way, and it's not probably the best way for you. But
Yeah, and
like,
there's
because
a
I say
contract right there.
and I say if it's in my highest good, right? And I'd be like,
Yeah.
spirit team, help me, right? So that's what I'm saying. So how do I get help without creating a contract?
Instead of
Because if
asking
that's
for
the
help,
case,
you ask your inner light. To
man, I
your
don't know how to do
only
that.
truth. You know how to ask a fucking crazy guy and a demon or a fucking soothsayer how to fucking ask for help, asking him for help. You don't know nothing about him. He could be a fucking mass racist on a spiritual level and physical.
That
But
just
you're
blew
at,
my mind.
but people ask them. People ask in cults
Yes.
and religion and
You
for
just blew
help.
my fucking mind.
You don't ask anybody. You fucking do it yourself inside yourself
Yeah. So how
because
do
their
I
fucking inner light is you and God, and God's gonna show you what you need to see to break through the fucking barrier. That's your fucking problem.
how do I sever those connections now?
Just start severing them
Dude,
until
I'm
you.
scared that I just fucked up because I've been asking for a lot of help. But I wonder if I have so many contracts that it's like the pile's this big, right?
Yeah, I know. But it's brutal.
Ah.
I'm not saying you do. I'm not saying you do. I don't know. I don't know you. Like
I
I got
probably
hooked up to you.
unconsciously do it a lot.
What's that?
I probably unconsciously create contracts a lot because
Yeah, you gotta.
when you're unconscious about what is the deadline or not, what is the sand in the just line in the sand of what's creating a contract and what's not. I haven't had that clear to me yet.
Okay, here's a contract. And here's ways they get you. This is one way they get you. They'll show you a little shiny thing. Oh, look at what I got. It's, in a dream, you hear a knock at the door. And you're like, who is it? It's the fucking guy. So you open the door and he goes, oh, look what I got. Can I come in? And you go, okay, come on in. And then he goes, look what I got. I'll give it to you for free, but you let me in your house. You can have this. And it's a diamond or a ruby, and it's beautiful and shiny. And it's what you like. It's what you like. He already knows this, by the way. He knows
Right.
all the things, all your habits, everything. But he needs to get in your house. And you're not thinking he needs to get inside you, because the house that you're in, that he wants
Represents
in,
you.
you're the house, and you're in the house, your body. So he's going, let me out. And
That's
you're like, fuck,
crazy.
okay, just staying here, but in the house. Well, he's in now. Fuck, he went right in your fucking heart chakra, and now he fucking owns you.
Fuck, you are you are not lying. You're right.
That's how they do it. And there's a lot of other
Yeah.
tricks. And guess what? The more tricks you get, the more good as you get. That's why they do it. They get to have all your experiences, and it usually comes down to sex, drugs, and rock and roll, more or less.
Yeah.
I'm fucking sorry, hon. I'm
Oh.
sorry, but it's
So how do you just sever that though? How would you sever that? Because look at the situation your body's in right now. You didn't agree to that, did you?
well, I was pretty much like you, and I learned how to create things. Shotguns, and they fucking don't like shotguns. I'll fucking shoot them all. As soon as I have a dream of a spider. Now you let this Christ in. Let's say he's a Christ, and you let him in your house, and now he's with you. He owns you. He's working you on so many goddamn levels. You don't even know what it is. You ain't even living free. No more on a spiritual level, and it's affecting your dreams. It's affecting your reality, and you start to see. And all of a sudden, I go to my inner light for everything, right? So I go to my inner light and I dream from my inner light. God will tell you the truth, or your inner light God, because that is God, a part of God, your seed.
Right.
And he gives me a dream. This is a dream he gave me. So this is Christ, Mr. Beautiful, wonderful, beautiful guy. Supposed to be, right? And we're led to believe Christ is the best thing you can get, right? So I let him in. And then one night, he starts doing things to me that, don't make sense. And one night I had a dream where I'm talking to a spider. A spider was walking up a plant. It had 18 legs. And I'm like,
Hold on. Your microphone.
Is that mine?
Your microphone's like scuffling on something.
Oh. So, can you hear me now better?
No, put it down a little bit.
Better?
Perfect.
Okay. So the spider in the dream, and I'm talking to him. And I go, and I'm talking to the spider, and then I wake up consciously, and I'm still talking to it. And the spider is on a branch in my hand. And
in real life?
No,
like right now,
in a
here?
dream. In a dream. Yeah.
Oh my God.
In a dream. I'm dreaming. And all of a sudden I'm thinking, what the fuck? Why am I talking to a spider when it's Christ? And I go, hey. He goes, what? And I go, I'm having a dream where I'm talking to you. And he goes, okay, what? And I go, well, you're a spider. And he goes, hey, don't talk. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody I'm a spider. And I'm going, why? And he goes, don't worry about it, man. Come on over here. I got some cool things to show you. And I'm like, well, wait, why the fuck am I talking to a spider?
Oh my God.
And he, yeah. And he goes, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? I'm beginning to think you're not a spider. You're not a real Jesus Christ. And he's going, what are you talking about? Blah, blah. We had this big debate just like this. And finally I said, I think I need you out of me. And so what I did was I went to my inner light, shined the light inside. He was right inside. It took me fucking hours to get his energy out and push him away. And that is when as soon as I got him out, that was when the war between me and him started. And now he's in jail for another 200 years.
It's like, it feels like a like not a narcissist, but like a relationship in this reality where it's like like a codependent or like a trauma bond or something. It's like they just don't go away. They're like a leech, and it's like you
Yeah.
keep trying to push them away, but they're coming back to fight and fight because what you guys had together was benefiting him. So it was like then he's
Yeah.
gonna harass you for the rest of your fucking time, and you're like, dude, just your creep, leave me alone. Like,
But now, see, that's level one down on the earth in the spirit world. The higher you get, the Christ get more enlightened, more light being. So when you get to the top of the mountain at 13, that's when you go into the light.
so do
You,
they still try to do that to you once you're up there?
I'm in
As
level
you
three. I'm at
as
level
you get
three.
up, well, you was higher, right?
Oh, I can go anywhere in Christ
Oh, I didn't know
consciousness.
if it's because they took your seeds or something that you had to go
Yeah.
back down, start over.
Well,
Oh,
they just took my seeds away because I'm in this coma and they don't want me to enhance any traumas. So that's why they took my
right,
seeds,
right, okay.
because they're like batteries, right? Anyway, and say you're down here on level one, and every time you get a seed, you move up a level to 13, or just your knowledge. You don't even know. But the lower you are down here on the earth and the Christs that run it, you get the sicko Christs. They're called Jesus. Now they're not Christ. They're
It's funny
Jesus.
because that's why I see all these signs like Jesus lives, and I'm like, I bet he does, because the demonic presence named Jesus, right? But
But
that's
you
why you got
got
to say Jesus Christ, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Because Jesus
Christ.
is just not
Christ
anybody
consciousness.
could be named Jesus. You
Yep.
feel me? So
So
I be telling people that, but
yeah, oh yeah. There's Jesus, there's Jesus Christ, and then there's Christ.
Christ, right?
So you got to pick the one you want. Now imagine you're going to a church. You need to go to a church to help you out. And when you go and you look at all these priests and pastors and everything, they all have their alcohol addictions. They all have the loves. They all have their sex. They all have their same. And when they die, they get a church and they're doing Christ's work there. But they still got all their fucking problems. Hence the spider Christ.
It's so weird because I be talking to things in my dream, but I can't now I'm look out for it, but I don't remember if I was talking to a spider, but I know I have dreams where I'm talking to objects and I'm thinking like I didn't know if it was an ET because most time spirit I ask to see my spirit guides in my dreams because I feel like I always get my messages through dreams because that's when I'm at my resting state. But so I don't know if that's bad to ask that, but so practically I be talking to objects and I'm like, because a lot of people say when they see ETs that they'll come as something else because if they just showed you what you look like, they look like it would freak you the fuck out and you would be like not
Right.
willing to interact. I don't know if that's true or not, but so I be talking to objects and I'm wondering in my dream, I always think it, but I like one time in my dream, well, I don't know if it was a different reality or a dream, and I said, we're dreaming, right? And I was like, oh shit, don't say that because I got this overwhelming feeling of fear. Like if you say that, they're gonna know that and they're
Right.
gonna try to get you, right? And I don't know if it was just my subconscious processing things or because I often have dreams as well of me being there's rooms and doors and doors and doors and I open the doors and you're going in circles and doors and you're like, oh my god, I gotta get out, right? And then I tried to climb out the window and the screen just bulged out and it wouldn't let me like get out. It was just like a toilet paper roll. It was like
Right.
bulging out and it wouldn't let me out, right? So I was like, I don't know if I'm tripping or what was going on, but I do be talking to things in my dreams and then I'd be wondering why the fuck am I talking to this thing? Like I don't remember
Yeah.
what they say.
All above depends. Now what you got to do to stay out of the fucking rabbit hole? Consciously do this. And don't when you meditate, don't talk to them. Fuck them. Who cares? You don't need them. You talk to your inner light, you talk to your own soul, your innocence. And that's two indicators I can tell you to go to talk. Now,
So
all
what
the
would you call
doors
it? If
what?
I'm meditating and I want to talk to my inner light, what would I just say? I want you to speak to my inner light
No, just yeah, yeah. Or what I do is I see the inner light. I got fucking 17 of them, but
because I don't be seeing shit. I don't know how you see this. Like if I
oh, I see
meditate,
everything.
I just think about random shit. I can't focus, and I feel like I'm trying to perfect it when I don't need to be. But I don't see nothing. I don't know
It's
what you're.
okay. It's
How do you
okay.
see
I'll
something?
explain. It's okay. You're wrapped up, man. It's your skin's preventing you from
For
seeing.
real.
It's okay. It's all good. It's natural. You're not,
Okay.
but it takes time. The best way to do you remember the feel of glowing inside your heart? Winning the
I don't.
lottery, um,
Um.
sex, fucking good party, you know,
Hmm.
whatever, glow.
Sometimes, sometimes I have a feeling like that whenever, sometimes I have a feeling like that when, can you still hear me? Somebody just tried to
Yep.
call me. I didn't know if it cut off. Okay.
No, I'm
Sometimes
here.
I have a feeling of pure, like maybe I would consider it pure joy and giddiness. Maybe
Yep.
if I like, if I
Yep.
listen to Michael Jackson's music, but I think that that's like a sign of me being at the right place at the right time. I don't know, but it's hard for me to feel that feeling sometimes. And I don't know if that's just a limiting belief, but
'Cause-
I need to figure out how to get to that space more.
Yeah. And follow it. That's your indicator, man. That's your joy. That's your joy. And then if
Yeah.
when you get 20 of them, you go into ecstasy.
So
And
that's
people,
kind of like, I get that experience sometimes when I talk about stuff like this, but usually it has to do with like nutrition, healing. I'm obsessed with like healing people's bodies, opening them up to their spiritual like experience. But it's kind of like, but sometimes I get tired and my throat starts to hurt. And I don't know if it's because I'm overworking my throat chakra or if I need to just stop talking. Because sometimes when I'm talking to people and I can tell that they're not interested, I've started to learn, okay, they don't give a fuck about what you have to say. You need to stop
yeah,
explaining this to them because your energy is life force. It's
yeah.
valuable. It's currency. So
When
it's
you're
like,
when you're talking to someone and your throat starts to hurt, it's because you're taking their energy, bringing it into your throat chakra, and it's manifesting as pain. It's the same with
so how do
everything.
I prevent that? And is what does it mean? Is it bad?
Well, no, it's just energy. They're garbage, and you're taking it. They'll gladly give it to you. Oh, you ain't seen nothing. It's brutal,
I
and
love learning new stuff though. It's fun.
yeah, it's everybody should be from birth in school. And
Yeah,
that's
and
why
that's the
they,
thing that fucks me up. The
yeah,
school's fucked. The
yeah,
school's
and
fake and
so is
fucked.
religions.
So is religion. Say
You
so is
can't even
religion.
talk to a priest about this shit.
When I used to
They
go
don't
into
even know what the
church when
fuck
I
you're
was
talking
little,
about.
they would force me to go to church and I would start bawling my eyes out and all the Christians are like, it's because it's the power of God. And I'm like, I feel scared. I don't feel safe. I feel like this is a demonic ritual. I
Yeah,
don't feel like you guys are speaking the truth. All of you guys are judgmental. Most of you guys are drug addicts and alcoholics. Not to be mean, I don't judge them. I'm just saying
yeah,
the way that they were wanting me to be versus who they were in their home lives. I'm like, y'all are tripping. This is a
yeah,
cult.
yeah. You got it.
There's some truth in religion, but
Yeah,
not the truth, not
not that
the
true.
way of living, not,
Yeah,
you know, so it's kind of like you do with it what you will. You feel me?
yeah. I know. I know.
I was like,
So
yeah, but
the indicators, your innocence in your heart, the light, the inner light, you, and you meditate and you talk to it. All you got to do is know it's there. If you don't even feel it, just talk. Look down.
sometimes I don't feel it. Sometimes I feel crazy, but I think that's just the programming.
No, no, that's the only thing you got in meditation for the truth.
So
The
this is
only
what I was
truth
thinking.
for you is your inner light and your seed.
Okay. And I've been feeling that lately. Like in my waking life right now, I always explain this to people when I'm venting to them or asking them for advice. And then I sit there and think, and then I repeat to them after in the same breath of saying, what can I do? What do I do? Right. They tell me what to do. I ignore them. And anyway, I say, okay, I didn't mean to ask you what to do for help because I know for a fact nobody knows what to do but myself.
Mhm.
Nobody can help me but myself. That's how
Yeah.
I've been feeling a lot lately. Like stop asking people for help because they're pushing you down the path that they wish they would have took themselves and they didn't.
As soon as you're
And
dependent on help, you're
that's what's been
fucking,
happening.
you got
And
contracts coming.
and you
So
gotta that's what's been happening, I feel like. And then you gotta experience these. I feel like I haven't been getting solutions because my body's telling me stop fucking asking them for help. You're being dependent on them. And I
you're
have to go
talking to
through
your soul
I have to go through
right there.
transformations of deep transformations of tower moments. I don't know if you know anything about tarot, but like transformation, tower moments where your life is just fucked for a second so you can start over.
Yeah, yeah. It's clean slate.
Yeah.
Yeah, been there. I've done that.
And it's kind of just like, wow. But
Yeah.
but
A clean slate is when you're feeling like nothing, and it'll fuck you up. You're not involved in anything. You're just dead.
existing.
Yeah, that's a clean slate. Now, from that point, go into your seeds and meditate with earplugs and start asking. And now, the more you relax in meditation, a bunch of things are going to happen. the boxes, the programming boxes and fears and hate and sicknesses are all going to pop out, and they're going to go bam. But you have some people have visions real fast.
I do. I hear voices and
Faces.
visions, and I'm
Yeah.
not sure how to ignore it. But I feel like ignoring it makes it worse.
Well, they're your problems. And what they do is you'll be meditating, and all of a sudden you feel like you're going into a dream. Just try to stay focused. Keep chanting. Chanting is a rhythm,
Say
it's
what?
a vibe, and it'll bring out what you need to.
How do you breathe, and what do you say when you chant?
I don't fucking do any of that because that's all earth meditation guru shit. I found my way, and what I do is to say, okay, my problem. You figure out your problem, you find the words for it, and you say, I want to know what this means. I want to know what this means. I want to know what this means. And you focus on that problem you're having inside yourself with the earplugs in, and it's focusing on the problem that's lining you, and then you can get an answer for that problem.
It's crazy because
you
I've
don't
been
live in
to do
chaos. You're not in chaos anymore. You're aligning yourself with your problem. Then everything that comes out of into your brain, it pops up into your awareness, and you see it and you hear it. So you'll start hearing, "Fuck you, this fuck you."
No, for real.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh fuck. It's sick. Doors are
And then
slamming,
like, what is
smashing
going on?
glass. Everything's smashing. Everything's all
So
over
then
the
what do you
fucking.
do at that point?
Just let it go. It's getting rid of your problem.
Because I'm like, why are you being so loud? Like, I'm just trying to meditate.
Because
bro.
it's what it is. It's
trying
a little.
to distract you.
I'll put it in a nice little simple. It's an energy in a box in your brain, in your soul, wrapped up tight with your skins, and it's been sitting there for 20 fucking years, and you've been adding to it. And then when you confront that box, it goes bam, and it just fucking screams and yells. And it's like a temper tantrum in your fucking head. When you see crazy people being confronted walking down the street, and they just go fucking ape shit for no fucking reason at all, and they're not coherent in reality anymore, that's what they're getting. They're letting go.
You're
They
right.
don't even know they're doing it. They live in chaos, just fucking extreme chaos. So they just ride the fucking chaos wave. But they're dealing with it. They're dealing with it, but it's not conscious. You're doing it when you meditate and you're confronting a problem. You're doing it consciously. When you ask your inner light, how do I solve this problem? Which is the next step. How do I solve this problem? You wait and you get your answer from your inner light or your innocence.
So, I'm going to try to work on that a lot more. I don't know. That's interesting. It was nice talking to you.
That's how you do it. I'm just saying.
No, listen. I have to get off here. My phone's at 4%, and I have to pee. But if you're ever free again, we could definitely do this again, whether it be tomorrow, the next day, the next day.
You tell me.
I'm always free. You feel me?
Yep. It's good that you call me. Let me know by 11, around 11, if you want to talk. But I'm free tomorrow too, so.
All right, sure. Every day I'll just try to text you around
every day.
10 or something.
Yep, no problem.
No, every day that things
okay.
should. I'm like, every day I'll just stalk you and text you 60,000 times.
All right.
So, all right. Have a good one.
You too, man. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ah.